What's up, your boy Vaughn, another reaction. In today's video we have Baki Don't Make a Lick of Sense by Anime Balls Deep. No, I don't think this is the right video. Baki moments that left me speechless. This is what I wanted to watch.
I've watched a lot of anime.
Well, how the fuck is it two different titles? What the fuck? You could do that now? Listen to this.
I've watched a lot of anime, but Baki is one where I had to pause, sit back, and ask myself, what the hell did I just watch? Because in this series, there are moments so insane that they just leave you speechless. Like, for example, did you know Yujiro actually met Donald Trump and Elon Musk when
he threatened to grape them niggas?
Threatened to violate them? But we're getting to that later, because first, let's begin with a moment that already had me questioning my life choices. Like, remember when Oliver literally disrespected Baki to his face? Now, in regular shonen, that would be calling someone weak or stopping their blade with one finger. However, Baki went to prison just to challenge Oliver in a strength contest, which was his turn. So whilst in his cell, this man whips out his D and starts pissing all over him. Like, full on 12 seconds of time emptying the tank to spread it all over Baki's body. And whilst this is happening, Baki is just staring back at his BBC. And instead of getting angry about it, bro's ecstatic, basically saying thank you for peeing on me, because all you did—
You liked it, that shit? Freaky ass nigga like a golden shower, what the fuck?
was prove that I am a threat and you're scared. But wait a second.
What was the point of adding it? Like, it was no reason to put this scene up in there. Like, what the fuck?
How did Baki end up in a USA prison? Well, the 17-year-old made the Secret Service look like a joke.
This nigga kidnapped the president.
And kidnapped President Bush. And trust me, that's nothing compared to what I'm going to discuss later on, because when Yujiro gets involved, it gets way more worse for these presidents. Now, the next scene that left me traumatized might be the worst cases of Baki logic. It's disgusting on so many levels. So, we all know Gaia, right? Well, he has a spin-off manga that has been banned because he reveals a brand new technique called tunnel. Apparently, Gaia hid inside the body of—
They need to show Gaia move, because his character design is fire, so if he could
target. This general is out here holding a press conference talking about how he kills people by blowing up tunnels, and then suddenly his whole body starts shaking and he's tweaking out. He's twitching, deforming, and nobody has any clue what's going on. And then out of nowhere, like the Undertaker, Gaia's hand bursts out of his mouth. Like, bro, this man tunneled through his ass. He cut it open, dove inside, and was just living in there, using his entire body like a costume. Then he fully crawls out of the guy's mouth, completely obliterating him from the inside out. And the reporter watching this in this press conference, she literally starts peeing herself on the spot out of fear. Now, I don't even blame her. I would have logged out of life right there. And then Gaia, he casually says,
yeah, this guy was using a cheap knockoff of my technique.
Like, what? And then he warns everyone that if they copy him, this is what will happen to them as well. Like, bro, I'm sitting there reading this thinking, yeah, I think I'm good. Gaia, no one on earth wants disability. I swear, Itagaki, the author, had to be on something writing this, because I know for a fact there are moments in Baki—
It's a spin-off though, right?
that are even worse than this. So I want you to contribute with a comment on a moment that left you speechless, the craziest, most ridiculous scene, and I'll shout out your comments and the best ones in the next video. But now we get to spec. And this dude is a complete menace in every sense of the word. Every single time he shows up, you're just left thinking, what did I just watch? He's a 97-year-old convict who escaped from a Florida state prison that's located 200 meters underwater in a giant submarine. Now get this, he swam through 200-mile-per-hour underwater currents with 0 damage like it's nothing. Bro, that's like getting hit by a Formula 1 car every second and it's underwater. And right after that, he proceeds to kill the entire prison coast guard in 5 seconds. And then it gets even worse, because we learned this man traveled from the coast of Florida all the way to Tokyo on foot in 1 day just to find someone strong enough to fight him. Now if you actually run the numbers, that's over 10,000 kilometers across the ocean. Like, how does that even make sense? Now at that point, I'm not even asking questions anymore while
It's Baki, bro. It's peak.
reading this manga, but Spec doesn't even stop there. When he finally introduces himself to Baki, guess what he does? This man grabs a gun from a thug, puts it to his own face, and blasts himself multiple times. And then he exhales the smoke through the bullet holes and the thug starts instantly pissing himself. Like, this is routine in the Baki manga at this point. Like, oh my god, how many times am I gonna mention P in this video? What? Now after that, he literally foot stomps Baki's face into his dead friend's severed hand and then just casually turns himself in and goes to prison. And even Baki is sitting there like, yeah, this guy's got a few screws loose. His personality is basically my dad, which is insane because he's comparing Spec to Yujiro. But people, I'm only halfway done because this man leaves prison, kills someone in a supermarket, eats some food, and then returns like a good boy. And then he takes the most disgusting pee I have ever seen right in front of the commissioner. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. This man creates a whole bathtub of steaming liquid. He doesn't even wash his hands and then starts putting that dirty stuff straight into the commissioner's mouth. But finally, we get to his fight with Hanayama, where we learn that his fighting style is so insane. Spec supposedly destroyed the Statue of Liberty back in the US. So now he's just throwing non-stop hands on Hanayama, just straight violence until Hanayama locks in. But then Spec pulls out bullets and empties an entire magazine into his mouth, exploding all of them, leaving Hanayama with permanent scars. Like, how is this guy
What the fuck?
not dead? Well, this is Baki, right? I'm left speechless, and this is
They just
what?
flush it out their ass.
And somehow, even that wasn't enough. Hanayama comes back, he wins the fight, and gets sent to the hospital for stitches. But Spec being Spec, he said, nah bro, that L wasn't enough. As soon as Hanayama leaves, this man spins the block, comes back immediately to run the fade again. He starts shooting him multiple times, emptying a whole magazine. Then starts stomping his wounds with his stinky ass feet, and he even throws a flashbang to blind him. But Hanayama makes a comeback, and with the help of his insane grip strength, he literally rips Spec apart like a deck of cards using vice grip. And just like that, the most unhinged man ends up in a coma with his body finally tasting defeat. He ends up old, shriveled, and finally done. But obviously, there's one man who has left us all speechless over and over again. Because there's not a day that goes by without Yujiro wanting to humiliate someone. In fact, did you know Yujiro has met every single real-life US president? So I'm going to break down every time this has occurred in the Baki manga, because I guarantee at least one of these moments is going to have you sitting there whilst watching this video like, how is this even allowed to be written? Now, as we know, Yujiro hates governments and authority. He made the USA bend the knee, signing a peace treaty where each successive president must meet him and pledge a loyalty oath again. And it goes like this. I hereby swear that the United States of America will do its utmost to maintain a friendship treaty with Master Yujiro Hanma, that we will respect your...
So, if they... If he get on bad terms, he gonna destroy the whole United States. Like the fuck? This is crazy.
Interests and will never interfere with any aspect of your life.
But these niggas in Japan though.
Regardless of the circumstances, no matter what may come to pass. As of today, I, the President of the United States of America, do solemnly swear to honor and abide by this treaty. So help me God.
Who's a good boy?
I am. I'm a good boy.
So starting with the first one, Ronald Reagan.
That's how the United States is with Israel.
He
We
acknowledged
would never go against the Israelis.
Yujiro, but we never actually see it happen. It's just implied that even back then, the strongest country in the world had already bent the knee to one man. But in canon, the treaty occurred after the Vietnam War, so it's dating even way more back than you think. And since Baki doesn't follow the logic of time, no, we then move on to Bill Clinton. And Yujiro straight up walks in and takes his personal bodyguard, Yu Amanai, to fight in a tournament. Like, imagine being the president and you can't even protect your own security detail. Because Yujiro basically killed this man for yapping on about love and having remorse during his fight with Doppo Orochi. Like, it's the most disgusting panel of his abdomen chopped and his skull ripped apart. Then we get to George W. Bush, and this is where it just becomes straight up disrespectful because Yujiro basically turns him into his personal chauffeur. And I'm not even joking, Bush is driving him around in a car with his own family being held hostage. Like, let's be honest, this is just bullying. Eventually, Bush tries to get out of it, so he looks at his bodyguard like, yo, do something, please. And the bodyguard, he just refuses. Instead, he drop kicks George Bush out of the window. And then it somehow gets even funnier because Yujiro tells the bodyguard he did a good job. Because guess what? That bodyguard is revealed to be the trainee of Che Guevara, a former pirate turned revolutionary who trained in Japanese martial arts and then went on to
That's Che Guevara?
found his own island nation, and this dude is Bush, so he was like, thank you Yujiro for letting me do what I wanted to do. And now we get to Obama, and unlike the others, he has actually been a fan since college. At one point, Michelle caught him watching Yujiro fight as it was broadcast.
Look at Obama face, bro. Obama and Baki style. Let me guess, Yujiro like Obama, that's his favorite president?
And bro imitated Yujiro doing his face when she called him out. Now when they meet, Obama says he's genuinely excited. Like, imagine becoming president and you're just a fanboy over a menace to society. But Yujiro says, stop riding my D, and immediately cuts him off like, yeah, get on with the oath, man. But right after that, Obama asks him to prove his strength. He hands Yujiro a lump of coal and basically says, crush this with the pressure of 100,000 atmospheres. So when I was reading this, I was like, there's no way this is scientifically even makes sense. It breaks Baki logic. He's not going to be able to pull this off. Because this level of pressure is the kind found deep inside the Earth's mantle, where carbon is naturally transformed into diamond over millions to billions of years under extreme heat and compression. So if Yujiro can recreate that with his bare hand, it means he's instantly generating tens of thousands of tons of force concentrated in his grip. And guess what? I flipped the page and he's gone and done it. Yujiro looks at him like, bro, Obama, you're a stupid guy. You're just like George Bush. Then he casually uses that diamond he made to slice through a glass table, disrespecting the man. Then we get to Donald Trump in his first presidency. And this one might be the funniest one out of all of them, because right after winning the election, Obama sits Trump down and explains the treaty with Yujiro over and over again. And Trump's just not getting it. Obama explains
that will be Trump, yeah.
That the FBI, secret service, and all of their military might is weaker than Yujiro. Fighting this one man is like going to a losing war. So what does Trump do? He decides to personally go and confront him because he's the reason America can be great again. Trump wants his name etched in history by being the first person that puts a stop to this. So at his hotel in New York, the moment he walks into the room and sees Yujiro's demon back, it's over. All of Trump's confidence is gone and he immediately folds, shitting his pants. Trump is doing a full-on salute, screaming the oath in fear. Then we have Hillary Clinton, and this one is just wild. I can't believe it. When I read this for the first time, I just had to put the Baki manga down as I was just left completely speechless. Because just like Trump, she refuses to accept the situation. Stridham is trying to talk sense into Hillary, but she ain't having none of it. She claims to have never been defeated and will rescue the United States from Yujiro's oppression. So she walks into the same hotel room, and guess what? She immediately sees Yujiro's 15-inch sword in her face, rock hard, and she points at it. His sword is so big that Hillary is lost for words.
Yeah, I never seen this. Yeah, I gotta read the manga. What the fuck?
And starts sweating. She tries to reason.
Yeah, of course, as usual. Of course, this nigga got a 20-inch dick.
With Yujiro whilst holding the Holy Bible that she knew Baki's mother and claims that she was Emi's friend, basically trying to use that connection to calm the situation down. And Yujiro says, if that's true, I'd protect you without any oath. But then he immediately flips it. If you try to swear to me, I will repeatedly violate you with my sword. And then he points that thing to her just so it's clear in Hillary's mind. Now, what's even crazier is that Hillary Clinton thinks about that and she enjoys it. She states, being violated by Yujiro would destroy me in a second. She starts having a nosebleed, gets horny, blushes like crazy, walking away happy. Let's just pause for a second. What the hell did we just read? How is this legal? And now we get to Joe Biden, or should I say Sleepy Joe. We see Yujiro smoke a pack in one puff, blowing it in Trump's face, disrespecting it, and he lost the election. So Trump starts ranting, telling him that Biden is a corrupt fraud and a sleepyhead, and the whole thing was fake, and that Yujiro himself has been disrespected to believe a lie. And he basically falls asleep mid-conversation. Trump tries to wake him up, but meanwhile, outside the room, Biden is preparing to enter. He claims that he's practiced the oath countless times because a single mistake will mean death. But the moment he walks in, Yujiro has Trump's unconscious body. And that's where we get to the most recent humiliation ritual in Baki Rahen, the recent manga. Donald Trump's second presidency begins and he's with Elon Musk, who endorsed him. Now at the White House, Trump is glazing Yujiro, trying to explain the situation to Elon Musk. But he just doesn't get it. Elon thinks Yujiro has power because it's about money. But Trump immediately shuts that down. But just like Elon, you're probably asking, ABD, why don't they just assassinate or arrest Yujiro? Well, the manga makes it very clear that that's not an option. There's an entire scene where other world leaders across the globe are literally discussing this, and they admit that it wouldn't work. You can send snipers, the perfect shot, and it still wouldn't matter. Because you're not just picking a fight with Yujiro, you're picking a fight with the United States. And no one on Earth is dumb enough to do that. Yujiro is treated like a nuclear deterrent. If Yujiro is on your side, no one dares to move. And if he's against you, you're already finished. So the world leaders...
When they gonna have Kim Jong-un in this shit? Kim Jong-un need a segment.
They admit
Yujiro destroys North Korea and frees the people.
That Yujiro isn't something you can eliminate. He's something that you have to survive because he is considered the strongest weapon on the planet. So naturally, Elon wants to meet him, and he notices that Trump's acting completely out of character. He still doesn't understand why. They both pull up to the hotel. And the moment Elon sees Yujiro, it clicks instantly. Since Elon is into engineering and tech, the manga even compares Yujiro's existence into something perfectly constructed with no flaws. Meanwhile, Trump is barely holding it together, shitting his pants once again. And Yujiro, he just throws a casual air punch that breaks the sound barrier, where the pressure alone hits Elon Musk. Yujiro then yells that if they keep acting like idiots, he is going to destroy them and make them feel like women. And it's not like this is an empty threat, because we know Yujiro has done this before in the Joe Williams incident. Yujiro claimed that I am a male and all others are not. He has 10 times the testosterone of a normal person, and in the latest Rehan Baki chapter, it's revealed that he exerts unthinkable amounts of horny hormones that makes others go crazy. So no wonder
That's why the nigga got multiple kids, right? We gotta see Baki and Jack ain't his only kids. Nigga spread his seed all over the world.
Yujiro said he spread his seed across the entire world, impregnating even animals.
What are you saying? What is he saying?
Now, in chapter 100 of Baki, Joe William reveals he was destroyed by Yujiro, which made Joe realize the woman within him, and ever since that day, he started risking his own life by going on dangerous adventures to feel masculine again. Now remember, make sure to leave comments.
I ain't gonna have a Baki, I gotta chill with all the grape shit. That shit ain't funny. Make sure like, comment, subscribe, no details. I'm lying, bro. Y'all gotta chill with all. These niggas wildin', bro. Chill.